I oftentimes take walks on near my house, and one of the things I see a lot of is hawks. And there's a hawk's nest, been there about 2 months. Now you may have seen some of the hawk stuff I did earlier. It's been on my intro for a couple of years. But this is a family that they've got a little nest up there, and every time I come close, well, just listen. I can hear them cheeping at me as I get closer. Now you see one that's flying away. Now he's trying to draw me away from the nest, and he goes out here a ways, and then he turns around and comes back. I like to think of him as the father. And now he's going to go back to the nest, and guess what happens when he goes back to the nest? Mama says, "You ain't chased him away. Get back there and do it again." So he goes around again, and at this point, she seems to think he's done enough and lets him come back. Well, a few days ago, we had one heck of a thunderstorm. It was one of the most spectacular ones I've ever seen here. Lots of thunder, lots of lightning, and a little later than when this was taken, some very high winds and rain. And so the next day, I went for a walk, and this is what I found. Okay, that's the nest on the ground. There's the power pole. Obviously, the nest is gone. Looking back at the nest, this is a couple of days later that I'm showing here. There were two little birds in that nest. They weren't little, actually. They were probably teenagers. And both of them were dead, both of them inside the nest. They obviously were able to fly because they were fully feathered and were actually fairly good size. But they both died in the nest. All I can think of is lightning hit the power pole and killed the two birds. I don't know where the parents were at the time. And it knocked the nest off, and the two little birds died in it. And right beside the nest was about a half of a 12-inch trout, which looked to be their last meal. They probably got the trout, probably one of the parents got the trout from the river about a half mile away. This is about 4 days later. Those two birds standing up on top of that power pole. No cheep cheep, no flying off to draw me away, nothing left to protect. Just 4 days later, those two birds sitting on top of the pole.